Evening, everybody. Okay. So next week, this time we will have test 2. Okay, and then test 1 grades are posted on Gradescope. So you have to log into your Gradescope to see the grade. And if you do not see your grades, some of you may not see your grades because of the problem that your cursive handwritten name was not detected. So we could not detect your name, even some people name manual. So yeah.
So what do we do about that?
Okay, so in that case, if you do not see your score, then send me an email. Okay, then we will check. And then another reason is that some of you did mistake in Gradescope that you use your personal email address instead of university email address. So this is why your grade was not posted. Some of you even did mistake like this. Yes. So like for instance, your email address will be your name @
That's shown right here.
students dot.
It's like all the way at the bottom. It's like 1, 2.
I don't know.
It's your form.
Yeah.
Your form.
Oh, I don't understand.
No. Grading the test.
So like this should be a email address. Some of you did mistake while signing up in Gradescope that you use student in singular. Some of you did mistake. So check your Gradescope profile. If you do not see your grade, check your Gradescope profile. That if you see that you have your correct email address. Yes.
So you said if it's not on there and we did use the right email, just come to your office?
Send us an email, we will check. And then another thing is that we graded it collectively. So for instance, I graded few questions and then Dexter graded few questions. So if you maybe we adjusted the point out of 90. We gave you 10 bonus points. Okay, so we graded out of 100, but we will consider this test just 1 or out of 90. So you got 10 points relief. And if you see something that you deserve some points, but we did mistake, so let us know. Yeah, please and send us an email and which question you deserve point and send us a justification, clear justification as much as possible that you did this thing right, but we did mistake in grading. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Can you please come forward? Okay, and the next half of this class tonight, I will discuss about the upcoming test 2 guideline, study guide. Okay, the next half. So if you leave early, then you will lose something. Yes.
Again, the class still saying we'll go over small again.
Sorry. Okay. So if you have question about your grades, then send us an email, please. And in the email, please mention clearly that which questions you deserve point, but you did not get. So according to our schedule, so this week, okay, we should finish recursion. But as I started recursion last week, so I want to finish recursion tonight, and so that in next class Thursday I can start linked list. So linked list is a pretty complicated topic. It is a complicated topic. So I need to spend at least 2 classes for upcoming Thursday and next Thursday to discuss linked list. But meanwhile, if you have any question, you can ask me at any time. But every week I wait for you for at least 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. But nobody show up. So if you do not ask any question, or if you do not show us any problem, that means you understand everything, right? How do I know that you do not understand this thing? Some of you give us feedback that the lecture modules are way easier than lab. Yes, the lecture topics are easier because we discuss it in class. Until everybody understands, then we still discuss and review. But in order to understand the lab topics, you have to read the book. You have to read the entire book chapter. And you have to do some study and practice. Then your lab topics will be easier too. So we are discussing recursion, right? What is recursion? What is recursion? Recursion is a process, right? What is that process? Yes. When a method calls itself, then the method is called a recursive method, and the process is called recursion. Okay. There are some situations it is easy to use recursive method. For instance, finding factorial, finding a series. Okay, the reversing a sentence or reversing a text. Okay, in order to the recursion process is a continuous process until it finds a base or boundary. So in the recursion, it has two boundaries. One is called lower boundary, and another is upper boundary. In the lower boundary, you have to set it up. So your lower boundary. For instance, if I have a method factorial, okay, factorial of n, I want to find factorial of n. Okay. So what will be my lower bound? Can anyone please help me? So when we calculate factorial, we know our lower bound is 1, right? Because factorial 0 is 1 or factorial 1 is 1. So then 1. Okay? And so that means we will set up, for instance, if n less or equal to 0. That means if n equal to 0 or n, so I think we can put 1 also. N less or equal to 1, that means n equal to either, we are considering factorial only for positive number, okay, not negative number. So if 1 or 0, then return what? Return 1. This is the lower bound we will return. Okay, and what is our upper bound? Upper bound is n, right? Our upper bound is n. So this is my upper bound. This is our upper bound. So then upper bound, how we will do? Else return. What we will return? We will, for evaluating factorial 5, we will use 5 times factorial 4. That means in order to evaluate factorial n, we will use n times factorial n minus 1. So then we will return, so fact we will return this n times fact n minus 1. That's it. But if you miss the lower bound, then your loop will be going infinite. It will be an infinite loop. So your lower bound is important, and then you have to set up your lower bound at the beginning. Okay. Like for instance, we can similarly we can see how to we already discussed this, right? So we already discussed this. Actually, factorial method works in a way that I will show you in the class. It uses stack. Stack is a part of memory that is way faster than other portion of the memory. And stack it can keep the record. It can keep the track of which parameters are calling, the sequence of parameter calls and storage, and it can store the sequence of methods that are being called. So it can show up which method is being called first, and then it can show then which method. So actually method calls work in a way that the last method you call, that is returned first. For instance, when you see inner loop, you have a loop, you have a for loop over here, end of for loop, and if you have another for loop, and you will have another loop, this is the end of this loop. For instance, if you have another for loop here, and this will be the end of this for loop. So this for loop, when actually so this for loop, it starts last, but it executes exits or it terminates first. It starts last, but it terminates first. When it starts, then it executed, then this result may be thrown to this loop, outer loop. Then it will be started, and then it will be finished, then the result may be thrown to the outer loop. So similarly, stack stack is used in order to keep track of recursive call. I think let us try to understand these block diagrams. You see, at the way it's called return, actually the main method is put on the stack all the way down. All the way end is main method is called. Is main method is put. Every method or every variable, when we declare a variable or a method, it takes some initial point in memory. Memory means computer RAM. And then that memory address is saved over here. So that later on, when needed, your compiler can get that memory address from stack and back to that variable or that method. Thank you. So as you have seen, this class is really a tough class, but really it will be a good class. So if you cannot stop like your social networking or any other activities in this class, maybe this class will not be good for you. Then still you have time until tomorrow. If you think that you cannot stop like other activities and you cannot give attention to this class, then tomorrow, until tomorrow, you can drop this class. Maybe you will get a better professor to retake this class. But it is not possible for me that I can study for you. I can help you as much as you need, but I cannot study for you. Okay, I cannot help that way. You see, this method is coming back and forth, coming back and forth. Actually, this is an operation of recursive call. How recursive call works? For instance, I show there is an. So, for instance, if we compare this method, this factorial 5 call, actually factorial 5 is actually 5 times factorial 4, then 4 times factorial 3. Then what happens? Actually, factorial, when you use factorial 5 operation, the value 5 goes all the way bound, all the way end. 5 goes all the way end, okay? Then on top of 5, then it says factorial is 4. Then on top of 5, it says 3. It says 3. Then on top of 3, it puts 2. And on top of 2, it puts 1. And when it finds 1, then it like for instance this way. Okay, like it is 5 is saved over here. One of the argument, last argument, 5 is saved here. Then 4 is saved here. Then 3 is saved here. Then 2 is saved here. Then 1 is saved here. Then when it gets 1, then the lower bound, then it extract 1. Then this 1 is implied. Then it extracts this 2. Then 1 is extracted. Then 2 is extracted. Then 3 is extracted. Then 4 is extracted. Then all the way 5 is extracted. So in the stack is one-sided operation. So the value is first is get it save all the way end of the stack. Then the next value, then the next value, then the next value, and when it finds the base value, then it starts getting the value. Retrieve the value and then it finds the operation. Like for instance, then it will find 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5. That way. Maybe we will get another example. For instance, there are other series. Like for instance, if we want to find a power operation. For instance, like if we say power of x, y, that means we want to find x to the power y. Okay, when x and y positive, they will consider x to the power y, or something like this x cap y, x to the power y. If we want to find this one, so then we can declare a recursive method. Like for instance, this one, power x, y. Then as you know that we need 2 arguments over here. So for instance, our recursive method power, if we say, I'm sorry, that here it will be, we need to put integer, and integer n. We need to put type over here. Right. We need to put type over here. Argument type, integer n. Okay, power, we need 2 variables, right? Integer x and integer y. Okay, so then what is our base case over here? So for instance, our base case here, if y equal to 1, then what it will return? It will return x, right? Y equal to 1, that means x to the power 1 equal to x, right? So this is the base one. So for instance, then if y equal to 1, then what it will return? Yes. Then return x. Otherwise, else return. Okay, let us do not look at the then try look at here. Do not look at the slide. Then what you will return? For instance, we have x to the power 5 equal to x into x to the power 4, right? Equal to x into x into x to the power 3, and equal to x into x into x to the power 2. I think we could go 0 maybe. And then x, for instance, all the way in, then we will start x into x into x into x into x, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then x to the power 0. Actually, we could, okay, there are two ways to do this, okay? Actually, we can put 0, okay. If we use this method, then we will use, if y equal to 1, then we will use return x. Otherwise, there is another alternative method. For instance, if we use this, for instance, x equal to 1, this one, right? Otherwise, we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Or otherwise, we can do x into x into x into x into x, 5x into x to the power 0. Then x to the power 0 equal to 1, right? In that case, we will say if y equal to 0, then return 1. There are two ways you can do it, okay? Whatever you have to think wherever you are going to stop. This is your phase. Okay, if you stop at 0, then we can return 1. Otherwise, if you stop here 1, then you will return x to the power 1 equal to x, right? Otherwise, what you will do, you are doing that is equal to x into x to the power 5 minus 1, right? Okay, so then we will do this one, use this formula. Otherwise, return x times power of, and my x is unchanged, so I will have x over here, and then my y is decreasing, right? Yeah. Every time, so y minus 1. Y minus 1. Because my y is decreasing, y is power. Power is the y, right? So y is decreasing 1 by 1, right? So then I will have to write y minus 1. So everyone understand? So this is a program with Java, and then people who are taking C#. Okay, so what do we need to make change if we want to make as a C# program? That's one thing we want to change here. Can anyone tell me? Actually, two things. Who are taking C#? Yes. Yeah, we need to change main M is in uppercase, right? In C#, and then on line number 7, console.writeLine. That's it, right? So in C#, like if we have to write console.writeLine, and then everything is same. And in C# we have to put M is in uppercase. That's it. Sorry? Line 11, if y equal to 1, this y, then return x.
She's just talking about a syntax, why there's not a curly brace between that and else, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's just.
I understand. What is that?
It's because
When there's only one line, you don't have to use it.
Oh, sorry, when you have only one line, then you don't need to curly bracket. So I think I could get rid of this curly bracket over here. If you have only one line, then it's curly bracket is optional. But if you have more than one line, then it's required, right? In Python, we do not use curly brackets, but in Python, we use indentation gap. So you understand this? Okay, so not in this test 2, test 3, there will be questions for like this. You have to ask recursive method, okay? For test 3, you have to write programs like this. Oh, I have C# as well, C# program, okay? So this is the C# problem, so just 2 lines. I have main over here, and then console.writeLine. And people who are taking C#, why this line is, I put this line, console.read key. Can anyone tell me? Yeah, in C#, it shows the output and then the console exits icon. So this method is, I just use, some people use different way. I use this read key method so that it waits, this will be waiting, output window will be waiting for me until I press any other key. Once I press any other key, then this output window will be terminated. So this is the extra line you have to write in for this chapter. In other words, main thing is that we have our algorithm is here, right? Our main algorithm is here. So if you understand the algorithm here, then it's easy for you to write this program in any language. So, for instance, for any series you can convert in recursive way. So, can anyone tell me if I do mistake in my in writing my base? Okay, what will happen in recursive method? Yes, it will come stack overflow. Sometimes the stack will be overloaded full, and then again if it tries, that is called stack overflow. Stack is a like repository, okay, it's a placeholder. Computer operating system allocates some sort of memory for stack operation. So sometimes if your like this stack grows infinitely, it will not grow infinitely. So sometimes it will be exhausted. So at that time it will show stack overflow. So then when you read the book, so please try to write some programs and run your program and do some mistake intentionally and then see what happens. Okay, then I have one more slide for Recursion. What is this? Again. Okay. So this slide is about advanced recursion stuff. So some recursion methods involve processing a collection. I'm not sure in which class or which week we will learn about collection. Maybe in linked list chapter we will learn about collection, maybe something. Let's see. So all recursive method can be done using for loop or for each loop. So all recursive methods can be executed or all recursive method can be done using Factorial, using for loop or while loop. You can use it. Okay, but if you use recursion method, then your program execution becomes faster. But for this short kind of program, you will not be able to realize whether your program is getting faster or getting slower. And recursion method, it use stack that I mentioned. Is stacks keep track of the recursive activity, that it reminds. Okay, it reminds that what are saved and what it has been doing, and then what it gets returned. For instance, while calculating factorial 5, so while calculating factorial 5, it saves 5, but it goes to factorial 4. Then when it goes to factorial 4, then it saves 4, and then it goes back to factorial 3. And then when it goes to factorial 3, it subtract on 3, and then it goes to factorial 2. And then it goes to factorial 1, and when it finds factorial 1, then it multiplies this one by this number, and the whole number by this number, then again the whole multiplication by 1 times 2, 3 times 2 times 3, 6 by 4, 24, then it multiplies 24 by 5. So it goes up and down this way. Track first, it grows and then it shrinks. And the main, if in all programming language, all threads, the main method it sets all the way down to the track. Maybe I will see if I have an example. Okay, let us see. There is another example of Fibonacci number. Fibonacci series. Can anyone help me please with Fibonacci series? Fibonacci series. Fibonacci series is a series that has, for instance, it starts with 1, and some people say that it starts with 0. Some mathematicians say that it starts with 0, but most of the people agree that it starts with 1. And Fibonacci series is that the third number will be the sum of the previous two numbers. Okay, the third number, this number, we say third number, next number will be, this one will be 0 plus 1, 1, and the next number will be 1 plus 1, 2, the next number will be, next number will be, the next number will be, next number will be, the next number will be, 21, then 45, 34, right? Okay, then 34, then 55, and that way. Okay, so then how can we find this series using a recursive method? Okay, so we need to a method. Okay, so maybe in the previous method I forgot it should be needs to return that. Okay, return is an integer. For instance, if I say Fibo integer n, okay, this n will find the nth Fibonacci number. Nth Fibonacci number. For instance, this is the first Fibonacci number. This is the second. This is the third. This is the fourth. This is the fifth. This is the sixth Fibonacci number. So this one will return the nth Fibonacci number. So then if n is 0 or equal, n is okay, less or equal to 1, then return what? Return 1. Otherwise, let us think. So this, okay, so these will be, so for instance, if this is my nth number, okay, n. So this is the nth Fibonacci number, and this is n minus 1. N minus 1 Fibonacci, right? And this is n minus 2, right? For instance, this is my n Fibonacci number. This is my n. Then this will be my n minus 1 th, and this will be my n minus 2 th, right? So this is, if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this is 7, like this is 7, then this will be 6 plus 5, right? The 7th Fibonacci number is the sum of 5th Fibonacci number plus 6th Fibonacci number, right? So then this will be, it will return Fibonacci number n minus 2 plus Fibonacci of n minus 1. This is the return. That's one line. If you understand this, so here actually n minus I less than 2 is similar, actually I less or equal to 1. Okay, so don't confuse about this, it's same thing. Instead of this, it's n less or equal to 1, that means same thing, n less than 2. So now everybody understand this? How it works? Anyone has any question? Okay. Okay, so then now let us go to a prospective problem for your lab or for your next test. Not this test, upcoming test, the start test, okay? So we want to use Fibonacci, okay, recursive process in order to reverse a string. Okay. And for this test, okay, upcoming test, So maybe in string operation there are some methods. So please prepare technical person to write it, to understand how to write the method for string operation using regular way, not recursive way, not necessary. How to do it, write a string reverse method in regular way, or something how to find if you are given a string and then you will be asked to how to find the number of vowels or specific characters, how many times it occurs. It exists in a string, like this kind of problem. Okay, you have to write code in your language. Okay, so let us start this one. How can I do this? Can anyone please help me? Okay, so we need a what? We need an initial. We need a method, right? We need to put the name of the method, right? String. This method will return string. So and then let us put name of this method like string reverse. Okay, and then we need to all recursive methods take a parameter. All recursive methods take parameter. Okay, so without any parameter you cannot execute a recursive method. Okay, so then we need another string. For instance, we say str. Okay. Can anyone please tell me what is the difference between this string and this string? Can you please tell me from the back? What is the difference between this string and this string? What is this one and what is this one? Order they are used.
So sorry, I can't see it.
The first is what you're returning, the second is your parameter.
Yes, first one is the return type, second one is the parameter, right? Yes, you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so how can we do this? Let us think about. Okay, so if we for instance we are given a string hello. Okay, so we want this output as OLLEH, right? Okay. So the base case, let us think base case. Base case, like for instance, it could be we can think two ways. The base case can have only one character. We can consider this base case, or we can consider base case as an empty string, nothing in it. We will consume each of the characters until we consume all of the characters. So this is the way this one. Until we consume all of the characters one by one all. So then if we consume all, we will start all, then we will have the way an empty string, right? But if we consume, if we take out all of the characters except the last one, then my base, for instance, will have only one character. So we can, so this one will be empty, but this one will have only one single character. So we can think both ways. We can do both ways. So the one way that if we extract all of these characters except the last one, or think about that I have only given a string that has only one character each. Then if you reverse it, then that will be it, right? No sense. So the base case is that if I am given only one a string with only one character, then the reverse will be same thing, right? There is nothing to reverse. Same thing, like 8 will be converted to 8. Okay? So then how can I see that I have only one character? So I have to use string length method. Okay? So then if, so then this string variable, I need this one, str dot length equal to 1, then what it will return? Then return string. It will return whatever string I am given, it will return that one, right? Because if I have length only one, so this thing has only one length. So whatever I am given, that I will return this one, right? So this is why it is returning str. This one is returning. Else, whatever else I need to return. Otherwise, okay. Else return. What it will return? Can you please tell me? This time I need recursive method, right? Then I need to call this method. Whatever name I give, and I need to sync this given string. This is the string. I need to sync it. Okay, actually, I need to. How can I sync it? Get a substring, right? Okay, substring. For instance, the string, then str dot substring. You know there is a substring method. Is called only one. It has another code. Okay. One, what is that? It starts from the next character. One means it starts from the second character. Okay, it starts from the second character. Okay, it starts from the second character and go towards the end. Okay. Then if I start from the second character here, if I start from ELLO, what I have left? 8, right? I have missed the first one, right? Yeah, give attention please. If I start from the second one, okay, then what I have left, or what I have missed? Character 0 point, right? Then this one. Plus GR at 0. See if you understand this one.
Should the CR at O be outside the parentheses of the string red?
This one we think. Yeah, this one will be outside. So this one is for this one.
Yeah, but you have your closing parentheses.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, this one. Because this method is takes only one argument, right?
Yeah.
It's not technical. Sorry. This method has only one argument. So this is actually syncing. So what you will do first time, if I start from hello, then at first time, so then it will start from ELLO. The next time it will ELLO, and next time LO, and the last time O. Okay. Then when it comes back, then it says O. Then after that, it says O, then L, then again L, then E, and then all the way next is this one. That is the I have left. So it will return O, this O, then this L, then this L, this O, then this L, then this L, then this E, and this H. So if you do this, if you execute this program using C#, the C# has length method like this, L, yes. And Java has, or C# has also, this is pseudo-code in C#. And C# has string method substring. Substring S is in uppercase. And Java has substring S is in lowercase. In Java, all methods start using lower character. And Java does not have this one. In Java, we need to use character at 0. Let me see if I have stored. Okay, so this is the consecutive Java code. So it's for substring 1 and then S dot S is this string. You are not seeing this character at 0. Okay, so this is my okay, then it's good. Yes, I think my program has one more checkpoint if string is equal to null. If string is equal to null or string length less or equal to 0, or you can put string length. Actually, I mean, it is better to put less or equal to 0. Although string length wise will be positive, it doesn't matter. And once you understand this algorithm, like you can do a Google search, for instance, how length method for or substring method for Java or C#, you can get the format. For instance, this is Java, this is substring, S is in lowercase and it has character at 0. But in C#, it does not have character at this method. So C# we use a string as an array, character array. This is the last program. Okay. So this is the corresponding string reverse method in C#. So only few branches, right? Here in C, main name in uppercase and then console dot read write line instead of sys.out.println, and it has substring S is in uppercase and this one. So anyone has any question about this? Let me see. So actually recursive methods can be used for doing other stuff as well as. Like this is the linear, this is for instance, I see this is a linear series, right? It can be used for non-linear series or any other task as well as. For instance, the next slide and this slide, it has like for instance, wherever you can do an iteration, any loop, you can do same thing, most of the thing using recursion. So if you go for interview, it's most likely you will be asked to write something like a pseudo-code or program using a recursive method. Yes.
Can I just real quick?
Yes.
Where is the attendance sheet? Because we haven't gotten it over.
Where is the attendance sheet? Oh, Ahmed. Yeah. Original name. So please don't start with the attendance sheet, okay? For instance, it says like if you want to count how many files you have in a folder. Then this like what how many files you have in your drive. Okay. So then how do you count that one? You enter into a folder and then check if there is a subfolder. Right? If you have a subfolder, then you enter into that subfolder, okay, and keep track of the parent folder. And if you when you enter into the subfolder, if you find another subfolder, then you enter into the subfolder and keep track of both parent subfolder and grandparent subfolder. Right? So in that case, so how can you using track of grandparent or parent subfolder? So without using track, you cannot keep track. So when you use track or recursive method, then it will be easy to go back, because your track in recursion process, your track will keep your exit point whenever you move. You switch from one position to another position. It will come back, it will return back to the appropriate position. I think there is a problem over here, but it's not a complete program. It's a pseudocode over here. In this pseudocode, it says how to count how many files you have within a directory or a folder. So then, since we know that it is possible that a folder can contain another folder, that folder can contain another folder. Okay, so then in that case you have to count both. Within a folder, you have to count if there is any more folder or if there is no more folder, then you have to count files, how many files you have. So for your homework, I'm giving you like this, this last slide. Okay, make some study and then do some practice and then let us see if you understand this. How many minutes we have, Patrick?
9.
10 minutes? Please pass out the attendance sheet. So have you seen your grade? Everybody has seen your grade? So you have seen? Yes.
Do we need it for assignments like the pseudocode assignment, lab assignment? Do we also need to submit those on Recursive as well, or just on D2L?
So far they are planning to submit in the grade scope, but until they explicitly tell you, submit in grade, yes, D2L.
Okay, so if they say it's going to grade scope, would they still accept it only on submitted on D2L, or?
So did you get an email?
I didn't get an email.
So then submit on D2L.
Yeah, because I just checked my grade scope and there's like a bunch of. Like,
Yeah, there's a bunch of that is formatted. Yeah, that is the sample thing they are working on.
okay.
Sample thing. Some people are working on to make the grade scope. So how many of you have trouble in seeing your grade for the test one? You could not see? What is the reason? Huh? No, it will take me time. I got a lot of emails, so it will take me time to see the emails. Students, it should be students, plural. Okay. Okay, so if you have any question about your grades and then any question, please specifically mention that where do you disappoint and where are mistakes. Let us do, okay, as a human being we graded more than 1200 tests, okay. So we may do any mistake, but if we do a mistake, we still have time to fix it. So let us first okay, grade your test yourself. Okay, then try to adjust that whenever you got your exact point that you deserve. If you think that you deserve something but you do not get it, then that's all. Sorry. Can you please help me to listen? Yes. You don't see your grade. That means maybe you have problem in your email or something. So whoever see your grade, okay? How many of you are not satisfied with your grade? Whoever see your grade, how many of you are satisfied are not satisfied with your grade? I'm asking if you see your grade for test 1, okay? How many of you are not satisfied? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, only a few. 6, I see 6 and okay, most of the people are 7. So most of the people are happy. That's good.
I feel like you got it.
Okay, so let me give you a brief, okay, study guide, and then Dexter want to send an announcement for the study guide. He want to send an announcement. Maybe if I get something more, then I will give you an announcement on D2L, okay? Okay, so then, okay, be clear about the definition of polymorphism, class, object, definition of class, object, constructor, polymorphism, abstraction, okay, one thing I forgot, encapsulation. I'm telling you, right? Okay, encapsulation, capsule. You understand capsule? The medication capsule. Yeah. When you see the capsule is wrapped with some plastic, right? With the plastic pack, right? Yeah. So unless if you break a capsule, you will see there are many, like hundreds or dozens of small, like medication balls like this. Okay. So unless needed, you will not eat or chew the plastic. But when you buy medicine, we also buy plastic, right? And we eat, we take medicine with the plastic, right? This is an unusual thing. You know? So the concept is that your medication or medicine or the chemicals are wrapped with, encapsulated with some layers so that they become together and then ingredients, ingredients, what is that called? Do not spoil or something?
Preserved.
Preserved is that helps, right? Okay. So same thing, encapsulation, a class, when we define a class and which is properties, especially with its private properties, right? So everything, an object become an encapsulated item. Okay, so when you declare a class with some private properties, then this object becomes an encapsulated item. You cannot detach that property from the object. That is called encapsulation. That is the concept of encapsulation. So encapsulation is one of the properties of object-oriented programming. Okay, so in order to use a private method, private property, we use getter or setter, right? Okay, that is the concept. And okay, a method, a class, and an object with getter and setter, it is called a bean. In Java bean. You know, that's an interview question. In Java, it is called a bean. Java bean or C# bean. That means, what is a bean? Like bean. That means like we eat some beans, right? Cook some beans, small. That is also wrapped with some layers, like capsule, right?
Yeah.
Similar. Yes, from that concept, it's called Java bean or bean. It's encapsulated. Okay, so try to understand the definition between class, object, inheritance, abstraction, abstract class, interface, and difference between abstract class and interface. Difference between abstract class and interface. And we discussed that what are the advantages of using abstract class. What are the advantages of using abstract class? Like, we found that inheritance has some limitations, right? We found at least 3 limitations, right, in class. That limitations can be resolved using abstract class, right? For instance, inheritance does not ensure that the inherited properties will be used. Okay, abstract class ensures that. Okay. Another thing is that we cannot use multiple parents for inheritance, right? We cannot have multiple parents. So abstraction is actually interface allows us to use multiple parents. Yes. Abstract class. Abstract class. Abstraction is a process, right? Abstraction is a process. It's a concept. Okay. And then interface. You understand the difference between an abstract class and an interface? Interface is 100% abstract. But abstract 100%. What is abstract? When in an interface, you cannot have a body. You cannot have a body or the declaration of a method. You just have the header line of a method. Okay. But in an abstract class, you may have only one, or actually you need at least one abstract method. If you have in a class, if you have only one or at least one abstract method, then you have to declare the whole class as an abstract class. Can we create an object or an abstract class? No, right? Can we create an object for an interface? No. Okay. So abstract class is extended, right? A class is extended, but interface is implemented. But when you have one interface, then their interface can be extended by another interface. When an interface can extend an interface, but a class implements an interface or interface. So what happens when we extend or implement? What happens when we extend an abstract class? What are the requirements? What do we need to do? We need to implement the abstract methods, right? Similarly, when we implement an abstract class, implement an interface, we need to implement or define the body of the unimplemented methods, okay, that are defined in the interface. Can we extend multiple abstract class in one class by one class? No. But we can implement multiple interfaces, right? Okay. So then you understand string object and string reference? And what are the difference between string object and string reference? Okay, string object, when you use a new operator, then it's called string object, right? And when you say, if I say string, oh, I have already over here. So if I say string str, then is this a reference or an object? This is a reference, okay. But if I say string s1 equal to new string, then this s1 is an object. What is the difference between a string object and a string reference? An object takes memory place. It has independent memory space, okay? But a string reference does not take a memory assigned. Does not get a memory space. Okay. When later you assign a value to a string reference, then it gets that value. And you will be so try to understand the substrings methods clearly. Okay, so you will be given a string and you will be asked to find the substring from this to that to that, like this. You will be given substring from this point to that point. So we discussed the substring method. One thing that you have to remember, so that the last one, if you have 1, 2, like 5, the 5 is excluded, right? Last one, it does not count the last boundary, last index. So it will start from first character to fourth character. First to fourth character. Fifth character will not be used here. Okay, so then if you are given a string, then you will be asked to either write a method to reverse the string, or like for instance count how many specific characters are there in the string. Yes, give me 2 more minutes, please. You can leave so then what is polymorphism? What is polymorphism? And the polymorphism is implemented by 2 ways, right? Method overloading and method overriding. Okay, so method overriding, what are the characteristics or requirements in polymorphism? Actually, polymorphism refers to method overriding. So in order to be override, the methods needs to be from in a class hierarchy, right? Same methods needs to be in parents class and base class, right? There will be same hierarchy, same family. In the slide, look at there are at least 4 points. Remember this point. What are the requirements or condition of polymorphism? In the polymorphism slide, there is a slide. What are the requirements of polymorphism and something? And what is upcasting and downcasting? Upcasting, casting, downcasting and upcasting. Upcasting is by default. So I discussed with upcasting and downcasting. These are important for polymorphic operation. Okay, then graphics. So you understand the graphics coordinate system, right? For instance, if I want to do a 400 by like for instance 300 pixel graphical coordinate system, but my 0 point will be here, right? The top, and what is that point will be? This point will be 399 0, and this point will be 399 comma 299. Right? We start from 0 to 0, 0 to 399 to 299. That's point. And we use in GUI system event and event handler classes, right? Why do we need this? Why do we use event and event handler class in GUI operation? So who are taking C# lab? Are you using event and event handler classes? Who are taking C# lab? Are you using event and event handler classes? How do you do click operation? How do you mouse operation? Yeah, but in the drag it comes in, but when you click, you have to write some code, right? It's called event, and it's called event and event handler.
Visual Studio automatically generates.
Visual Studio automatically generates format, but what will happen when you click this button? Visual Studio does not generate that.
It's a function and it has the options in there and it says sender, it doesn't say
Handler,
handler.
not sender. Yeah, please look at it again. Yeah, please go in lab and then see that. Okay, so we need to understand what is an event and what is an event handler class and what are this required, okay? Yes.
Like I remember for the previous model we had to do, because each button had to essentially be its own type, it had to work its own separate way. I couldn't make an event class that would
You can make an event class, separate class, or you can put all together.
Okay, so if we have to write something like that, so it's acceptable to just write it's acceptable to not make an event class.
You can put together. What will happen if you do double click or if you click a button, right? What will happen that you can put inside one click event.
Yes, that's
inside that, or you can put that code in another class and you can create it. Okay. Yes, anyone has any question? So you are happy with your test score, right?
For those of us that don't have our test, I sent you an email, I sent Professor Howard an email. Will we have them by tomorrow? Is tomorrow withdrawal?
What is it? You cannot see your grade?
No.
Okay, so who cannot see your grade, you can come to my office and then I can see. I can see your grade. Or you can come here. Who cannot see your grade? You can come here. If I can see your grade.
I was in the hospital from Thursday to today.
Okay.
I just got out. Is there any way I
So
can
what
get
did you miss?
the lab Thursday and class Thursday?
So Thursday class, I discussed on the review today also.
Okay.
Thursday's class I recorded, but unfortunately, voice was not recorded. But you can see slides.
Okay. Is there any way I can get an extension on the lab?
You did not submit your lab?
What?
You did not submit your lab?
I wasn't here Thursday for the lab. I've been in the hospital the past 6 days.
You're supposed to send me an email earlier. Okay, then I'm giving an extension. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Send me an email.
Yeah, I will.
Send me an email, specify that which lab you need an extension.
Okay.
Okay, give your name. Okay.
All right.
Yes. Yes, who need help?
Yeah, William.
For grade scope?